नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। I am Dr. Bharat Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Pathology, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today's topic is neoplasia, spread and metastasis. Fifth part is spread of tumor. One of the cardinal features of malignant tumor is its ability to invade and destroy adjoining tissue. Local invasion or direct spread and disseminated to distant sites like metastasis or distant spread. Local invasion or direct spread. Benign tumors. Most benign tumors from encapsulated or circumscribed masses that expand and push aside the surrounding normal tissue without actually invading, infiltrating, or metastasizing. Second is malignant tumor. Malignant tumor also enlarges by expansion, and some well differentiated tumor may be partially encapsulated, as well as example is follicular carcinoma of thyroid. But characteristically, they are distinguished from benign tumor by invasion, infiltration, and destruction of the surrounding tissue, beside spread to distant site or metastasis. Now, metastasis or distant spread. Metastasis, meta means transformation and stasis means residence, is defined as spread of tumor by invasion in such a way that discontinuous secondary tumor masses are formed at the site of lodgement. Besides anaplasia, invasiveness, and metastasis are the two other most important features to distinguish malignant from benign tumor. Route of metastasis. Cancer may spread to distant sites by following pathways. First is lymphatic spread. In general, carcinomas metastasize by lymphatic route, while sarcomas favor hematogenous route. However, some sarcomas may also spread by lymphatic pathway. The involvement of lymph node by malignant cells may be of two forms. First is lymphatic permeation. Second is lymphatic emboli. Generally, regional lymph nodes draining the tumor are invariably involved, producing regional nodal metastasis. However, all regional nodal enlargement are not due to nodal metastasis because necrotic products of tumor and antigens may also incite regional lymphadenitis of sinus histiocytosis. Sometimes lymphatic metastases do not develop first in the lymph node nearest to the tumor because of venous lymphatic anastomosis or due to obliteration of lymphatics by inflammation or radiation, so-called skip metastasis. Other time due to obstruction of the lymphatics by tumor cells, the lymph flow is disturbed and tumor cells spread against the lymph flow causing retrograde metastasis at unusual sites. That is, metastasis of carcinoma of prostate to the supraclavicular lymph node. Vircho's lymph node is nodal metastasis peripherally, preferentially to supraclavicular lymph node from cancer of abdominal organ, that is cancer of stomach, colon, or gallbladder. Now, second is hematogenous spread. Blood-borne metastasis is the common route for sarcomas, but certain carcinomas also frequently metastasis by this mode, especially those of the lungs, breast, thyroid, kidney, liver, prostate, and ovary. The site where blood-borne metastasis commonly occur are the liver, lung, brain, bones, kidney, and adrenals. However, a few organs such as the spleen, heart, and skeletal muscle generally do not allow tumors metastasis to grow. Cancer of these sites more often metastasize to the lungs. Portal vein drain into form the bowel. spleen and pancreas into the liver. Thus, tumor of these organs frequently have secondaries in the liver. Pulmonary vein provides another route of spread of not only primary lung cancer but also metastatic growth in the lungs. Blood in the pulmonary vein carrying cancer cells from the lung reaches left side of the heart and then into systemic circulation and thus may also secondary masses elsewhere in the body. Arterial spread of the tumor is less likely because they are thick-walled and contain elastic tissue which is resistant to the invasion. Retrograde spread by blood route may also occur at unusual sites due to retrograde spread after venous obstruction. Just as with lymphatic metastasis, important examples are vertebral metastasis in cancer of the thyroid and prostate. Spread along body cavities and natural passages. Uncommon route of a spread of some cancer are by seeding across body cavity and natural passages as under. First is trans transcelomic spread. Certain cancer invades through the serosal wall of the coelomic cavity so that tumor fragments or clusters of tumor cell breaks off to be carried in the coelomic fluid and are implanted elsewhere in the body cavity. Peritoneal cavity is involvement most often, but occasionally pleural and pericardial cavities are also affected. Examples are carcinoma of the stomach seeding to both ovaries, Krukenberg's tumor, carcinoma of the ovary spreading to the entire peritoneal cavity without infiltrating the underlying organs. Pseudomyxoma peritonei is the gelatinous coating of the peritoneum from mucin-secreting carcinoma of the ovary or appendix. Carcinoma of the bronchus and breast seeding to the pleural and pericardium. Spread along epithelial-lined surface. Examples is the fallopian tube from the endometrium to the ovaries or vice versa, through the bronchus into alveoli, through the uterus from the kidney into lower urinary tract. Third is spread via cerebrospinal fluid. Malignant tumors of the ependyma and leptomeninges may spread by release of tumor fragments and tumor cells into cerebrospinal fluid and produce metastasis at other sites in the central nervous system. Mechanism and biology of invasion and metastasis. The process of local invasion and distant spread by lymphatic and hematogenous routes together called lymphovascular spread discussed above involve passage through barrier before gaining access to the vascular lumen. First is aggressive clonal proliferation and angiogenesis. The first step in the spread of cancer cell in the development of rapidly proliferating clone of cancer cells. This is explained on the basis of tumor heterogeneity. Tumor cell loosening. In epithelial cancer, there is either loss or inactivation of E-cadherin and also other CAMs of immunoglobulin superfamily, all of the which result in loosening of cancer cells. Tumor cell ECM interaction. Loosened cancer cells are now attached to ECM protein, mainly laminin and fibronectin. Degradation of ECM. Tumor cells overexpress protease and matrix degrading enzymes. Metalloproteinase example is collagenase and gelatinase, while the inhibitors of metalloproteinase are decreased. Entry of tumor cell into capillary lumen. The tumor cells after degrading the basement membrane are ready to migrate into lumen of the capillary or venule. Thrombus formation. The tumor cells protruding in the lumen of the capillary are now covered with constituents of the circulating blood and form the thrombus. Extravasation of tumor cells. Tumor cells in the circulation, capillary, venule, or lymphatics may mechanically block these vascular channels and attach to vascular endothelium and then extravasate to the extravascular space. Now, survival and growth of metastatic deposits. The extravasated malignant cells on lodgement in the right environmental growth further under the influence of growth factors produced by host tissue tumor cells and by cleavage products of matrix component. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you all enjoy this session. If you have any query, please mention it in comment box. Thank you.